I'm Mark Abrams with Mobile Relay Associates. I'm here to discuss with you the operation of Simplex radios and radio systems. Simplex radios talk direct radio to radio without the help of any type of infrastructure. So you can take the radios anywhere you need to go, turn on the radios and start using it because there's nothing to set up. To operate the radio, you turn on the radio with the on-off volume control. The turn-on tone volume will determine how loud you have set the volume control. This volume control only affects receiving, doesn't affect transmitting. When it's time to talk, you press and hold the button here on the left side of the radio and talk with a normal voice into the radio about an inch from the radio. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, Simplex radios also have a feature in it that we call private line, PL. The generic term is CTCSS. Some people call it tone squelch. And basically it's a system that allows you to listen to the radios from your group without having to listen to all the other people. Effectively, your radio sends a coded signal which is received by the other radio that is listening for that coded signal. When it hears the coded signal, it turns up the volume on the radio so you can hear it, and when the coded signal is not present, it turns the volume down, so effectively you don't hear anything, even though there may be other traffic on the channel that has nothing to do with you. Simplex radios are typically on shared channels, so there may be other traffic depending upon where you go. And when you're in the crowded city and there's a big event going on, it's quite possible there may be somebody else on the same radio channel. With Simplex radios, you do have a problem. Here we've got a diagram of some people that are using radios. The person number 1 is in the basement, person number 2 is on the ground floor, person number 3 is on the 3rd floor, and person number 4 is a few blocks away. When one goes to talk, his range is very limited because he's in the basement of the building, and so he can talk to person 2 who's in the lobby, but he can't reach anybody else. Person number 2 has better range. He can talk to person number 3 up on the 3rd floor, and he can also talk to person number 1 here in the basement. And then person number 3, who's up on the 3rd floor, because of the fact that he has some height elevation, the signal travels further, and he's able to talk to the person on the ground floor and the person a few blocks away, but he's unable to talk to the person in the basement. So this is the problem that you run into with Simplex radio systems. The signal travels primarily line of sight from wherever you happen to be, and the range of the radio is going to be dependent upon where you happen to be. So not everybody can talk to everybody all the time. If your venue is large enough, you'll find times when one person is out of range and does not hear the signal while everyone else, or most everyone else, does hear the signal. To demonstrate the use of the radio and interference that occurs on the radio, I'm going to have Chris come up here, and what we're going to do, we're going to set our radio on channel 2, and we're going to demonstrate what happens with 2 people trying to use the radio at the same time. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, as you heard, it was pretty much impossible to understand either one of us because we were both talking at the same time. And with Simplex radios, it's not uncommon for 2 people to key the mic and try talking at the same time. Another thing that happens, of course, is that if you're sharing the channel with somebody else, you could get interference from this somebody else, whoever it happens to be. And normally the somebody else is further away, and they may not necessarily interfere with all of your communications, but they may interfere with some. So to demonstrate that, we're going to have Chris go out the room, and I'm going to key the mic, and you can hear the interference, and as he walks further away, you'll find out that the interference gets less and less, and that I'm more understandable on the radio as he gets further away. As he gets further away, the signal gets weaker. Anyway, that's how the radios operate, and if you've got any questions, please consult our website. We do have written instructions on the website as to how to use the radio, and you can find that at MRA-Raycom, RAYCOM.com.